How's it going, everybody? Rob right here today, and we are back with our Los Angeles Angels franchise mode. It takes two brains to get Mike Trout into the playoffs, we hope, because so far the entire Angels organization is just floundering in real life. So that's great. I'm sorry it took so long, guys, to get episode 2 out. Trying to get two people's schedules to align when they're both busy people. It's not the easiest thing to do, but we are here with another episode. And we're finally gonna get the start of season number 1 underway, but we are here with Abby. Abby, how are you doing today?
Not too bad. Like Ryan said, trying to get a banker and a VP finance together at the same time, not exactly the easiest thing to do.
Well, my job's pretty standard. Kind of work.
That's true.
Standard hours,
I was just trying to flex for us there.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to be here and excited to get Trout into the playoffs and hopefully a championship.
Yes, it's going to be great to have the number 1 overall player in baseball, and probably one of the best of this generation, if not the best. But we were just talking about trades, and Abby hates anybody who's over the age of 30. So if you're over the age of 30, you got to go. So I'm sorry, Mike Trout. You got 1 year until Abby's going to get rid of you. So we got 1 year for you. No, in all seriousness, though, we want to look at some of the older players that have some good overalls. Good potential as well. I mean, these guys might hang on a bit, like Loop might hang on a bit more than Tepera, but Tepera is a great trade piece. And then Raisel Iglesias as a closer, I'm sure we can find a closer of similar value. And Abby, I believe you did find a guy that you wanted to target.
Yeah, this is my favorite closer in MLB The Show. If you're running any sort of franchise with any sort of budget whatsoever, head over to the Cleveland Guardians and grab yourself Emmanuel Clase or Clase, depending on how you like to pronounce it. 85 overall, 24 years of age. I have never seen this guy not grow to anything less than an 89, if not a 90, 91, 92. And he's very good. He wins reliever of the year all the time. And right now he's at 700K, and you can lock him up for 3 to 4 years on an extension at a very reasonable rate. So nothing but good things to say about Clase.
And Iglesias is making $14.5 million. I know budgeting is not something we really have to worry about here. Like, we have so much in budget. We're paying so much, but I mean, we'll have $53 million available when this trade goes through. And we're just getting started on dumping big salaries. I mean, we're not trading Iglesias because he's a big salary. We're trading him because he's older and he's got ridiculous value to get us our closer of the future. Like, we're losing 4 points in overall, but we're getting 8 years younger, both with A potential. And Iglesias' contract is $14.5 million for 4 years. Class A, we got a renewable contract and then 3 years of arbitration. So we can lock this guy up for a long time and still not even sniff $14.5 million spent on a closer. And I'm just going to do this deal. We talked about this deal before we got started. We know it's going to go through because I love the way MLB The Show handles it. But that is not where we're going to end this one. We have 2 relief pitchers that combined for $15.5 million, and both are 34, which is over the hill. And we should go find a new relief pitcher. Now, this is something we didn't discuss. We wanted to get the Class A deal done, and I was like, you know what? Let's actually record this. Didn't want to just surprise you guys that we made a bunch of trades. So, who would you like to target?
Well, there's a couple different relievers I like. If we scroll through the teams,
I kind of like Tyler Rogers. I know he's 31. I know.
On a 1-year deal, I have no problem with Tyler Rogers at 31, especially as a temporary stopgap, like taking out either Loop or Tepera.
Yeah, he's like a 1-for-1 swap, in my opinion. And we just throw him right, boom, done, right? Tepera's, yeah, Tepera, they're same overall, 3 years younger, 6.3 million cheaper. Holy smokes, get it in the bank. Let's go. Deal
just make the deal before you choke on it more. It's all good.
Oh, wait. Tyler Rogers is an 85.
Yeah. Wait, did you not realize? No, this is an upgrade. This is a good. That's why I was so in favor of this. It's a good upgrade for now, and it's cheaper.
I was looking at Loop. I was comparing him to Loop in my head. So, wow.
There we go. Now Loop can get us another pitcher.
What the heck was that upgrade? I'll take it. There's also Devin Williams, the really good reliever.
Devin Williams or Gary Crochet would be good picks. But if we want to take a look at our pitchers really quick, I want to see how many lefties we have in our bullpen right now.
In the bullpen, got it. Yes. Roster. They finally agreed to. That's my least favorite notification, man. I'll tell you what. Relief pitchers.
So you can just click on them and then just scroll through them. So righty, lefty, Loop's going to go. Righty, okay. So in that case, I would like to trade for Gary Crochet just because we don't have any good left-handers in our bullpen at the moment.
I was just looking at Crochet. Crotchet. Who does he play for? Do you have any idea?
Don't remember the top of my head. But I know he's about 80 overall right now. I want to say I associate him with red, but I don't think that means much.
The color red? Yeah, red. No, I'm sure most players play on a team that is red. If he doesn't play for a red team, now you're going to make yourself look silly.
Oh, I know. Absolutely not. It's going to be like the Blue Jays or something. It's like, great job, buddy.
The Royals. Who does he play for? God, you know what? Screw it.
Search.
Player search. Last name. Crotch. The White Sox. That's black and white.
Absolutely no red. Wonderful.
Oh my God, that's not even close. Loop.
No.
That's close though.
Yes.
Yeah,
that looks fine to me. Yep.
Wow, we look $68 million worth of budget. You know what that means? Yankees. No, I'm kidding. We're not making a massive trade like that. We could. We have the ability to, but we're not going to. Unless
with that trade, I'm quite comfortable now with the age of our team. I think Stassi is the oldest player we have. That is kind of at that age range, but he's only 31, so we can certainly hang on to him for a year if we need to, or if we find a different catcher we like. That's also doable. So I'm pretty happy with where this team is right now. In terms of age, at least.
It would be nice to upgrade in the outfield.
Yes, outfield, and I believe the second baseman.
Yeah, second base doesn't really concern me as much. Like, I'm not as worried about second base. I mean, it's second base. I understand infield, blah, blah. But when the corner outfielders are 27th and 21st, you got a problem. I know 29th was worse, but he's the best player of the three, I think, Matt Duffy, and he's in a contract year, so I'm not in a hurry to, move on from him. But I don't know if this team is a playoff contender yet. To be 100% honest, we're ranked 9th though, so couldn't be that bad, right?
Yeah, it looks like the only area we're particularly lacking in our defense is mediocre, and our power seems to be lacking. But I tend to like teams with good pitching, good contact, and good speed, and we are top 6 in all those categories. So I'm content with where this team is right now. Certainly many improvements to be made, like the outfield, the corner outfielders, but we're in a good place right now.
I would very much agree with you there. I would like to also see the trade block once the season gets started, right? We are at the season opener. Here we go. All right. So lineup-wise, pitching rotation-wise, let's make sure that's all set. Rogers.
One other thing to look at. I don't know if we did this last episode, so pardon me, but did we look at the sponsorships whenever?
I probably.
Making sure we get the budget. We did not.
I got a gold one here, $15K per home run. The replay, $20K per win, and then 10,000 per. Oh, that's per home run. Per stolen base? No, I don't like stealing bases at all. Let's get another 20,000 per win. So when we win, we're gonna rake it in. How is that budget? Looks good to me. Actually, we are super duper under. Oliver Perez 40. I know that would make you cringe.
Now, to be fair, on a 1-year deal, I don't mind Oliver Perez.
Decent relief pitcher.
I would be encouraged us to go for that.
On a 1-year deal.
Because again, we have the cap space this year. I have no problem. I just don't like being locked up for long term, and that's perfect.
And he's a lefty as well, so that's going to be nice. Now we can send Mike Mayers down or Hoyt Taylor.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So I love that. Relief pitchers, Oliver Perez. We'll add him to the 40-man first. And then who would you like to send down? It's Mike Mayers. It's Hoyt Taylor.
I think we send down Hoyt Taylor because he can actually grow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oliver
potential.
Yeah. So there we go. Oliver Perez, welcome. Man, he's old, 40. You see the gray in his beard. There was also somebody else, Michael Conforto. What do you think about?
I think he's another person who quite contradictory to what I like to do. I wouldn't mind signing for like 5 years just because that's generally what he asks for, and then trading him after year 1 or 2.
I mean, we could just throw a 1 year, $6 million deal at him, and then
He's not going to take it because Conforto's asking for 5 years. He's going to either ask to be extremely overpaid this year, or like to a ridiculous extreme. So that's why I'd rather go to like a couple days or a couple years, sorry, and then we can trade him away for assets, right?
Yeah, that's fair. So what, like a 2 year, $12 million deal?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all.
There we go. All right,
Perfect.
so that is hopefully going to improve our outfield. Let's see. Out and right is Conforto. We can probably send down Ward then, or maybe Rob Ryan because he is only 24. Mike Trout and actually Virgil Davino here. It's really not worth it. Brandon Marsh. Oh God, man, this outfield really is garbage around. Yikes. All right, so who would you send? I would probably send down Virgil Davino.
Davino or the younger guy on the other side as well.
Rob Ryan.
Rob Ryan, yeah. I guess Rob Ryan would be a better. Davino's younger, so he could get better, but he only has the deep potential, so I don't kind of mind quote unquote ruining him as much. But
he's the speedier guy. Yeah, Taylor Ward can. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of sending down Rob Ryan. I'm down. I'm down for that. Send him down. Add to the 40-man. And then move him to the MLB. There we go. Conforto is now our starting right fielder. And that means...
One thing to be careful about is our 40-man is now full. So if we want to add anyone else to the 40-man, we're going to have to take people off going forward. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. But also, I'm flexing and fist pumping right now because our right fielder is no longer in the 20s. It's now about middle of the league. So
that's great.
So
that's a major improvement.
We'll wait because I'm pretty sure a second baseman or another outfielder may pop up on the trade block. But we finally get to some scouting. Well, no, I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. We finally get to some baseball scouting. I do love myself some scouting. As you guys know, I am in love with the draft and overvalue younger players, I think. So let's go ahead. Let's get it started. Let's go a couple games after we fix our lineups. This is actually a very important thing. We need to set our lineups. Brandon Marsh in left and right is Taylor Ward. We actually want Conforto there, right?
Yes.
Anybody? I don't think there's anybody on the bench that I would like to play. Shohei's the DH. That's fine by me.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Oh my God. 99 power against lefties and 95 power against righties. He can
Shohei out there as much as possible.
Right. He's gonna bat fourth, please. Mike Trout, third. That's fine. This is righties. Okay, that's fine. 84 contact, 66 vision. I don't think we have anybody else I would rather play there, right? Jared Walsh I think he's fine there. At 5, Conforto.
I might even switch Walsh and Marsh, to be honest.
I might move Conforto up instead of.
Conforto only has the 60 contact though, right?
That's true. We have Matt Chapman too. Gotta move him up against. Actually, no, we don't. He's got power, but
because if you look at Walsh, right, he has the 83 contact, so I think that makes more sense for him to be the 2.
Yeah, it's the power,
frankly. Yeah.
And then Marsh flip flop there. Chapman's got the power, and I think we're looking okay here. Wow, Fletcher's really only a left-handed hitter, but he should be our leadoff against lefties. That's fine against no DH. I just want to make that's our issue right here. No DH here. We'll just throw Max Stassi in there because why not? All right, so
he's in there as a left fielder.
It doesn't matter. This is the no DH.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
I hate that these still appear even if you have the universal DH on. Anyway, looking at our left-handed pitchers, I think David Fletcher should be the leadoff guy. 95 vision, 92 contact.
Absolutely, that's the quintessential leadoff hitter.
And then Marsh should be nowhere near second.
Absolutely not.
Flip flop him with Matt Duffy. Chapman should be definitely moved up over Stassi. Yep. Taylor Ward, I'd move him over Taylor Ward. Shohei, we know he's gonna rake. And Walsh against lefties, probably move him down behind Chapman. And I think he's fine there. Then Taylor Ward with the good contact. Yeah. All right. So I think we're all set with the lineups, and I think we can start playing some baseball.
Sounds good to me.
Just one last check on the pitching rotation. Yeah. Let's flip-flop Mayers and Oliver Perez.
So righty and a lefty in the setup is always nice.
Yep. And they don't pitch almost any innings. I've noticed that like middle relievers at the end of the season will pitch close to 60, 70, where setup men pitch only 20. So I like to play my lower rated guys there. Oliver Perez is old, so we'll leave him there. We'll give Crochet, Arano, Rogers as much run out as we can.
Sounds good. One thing worth checking, actually, sorry, if you don't mind going back for a second. Our long reliever, was that a starter or a relief pitcher?
He is a relief pitcher.
Okay, good. Just double checking.
And I think we're all set. I think we're good to go. Yep. Game 1, we're going to win 7-0. Shohei Ohtani, 9 innings pitched, 7 strikeout, shutout. View the box score of today's game. The Oakland, they did have 3 hits. I didn't know if we had a complete game no-hitter. But 2 walks, 3 hits, 5 base runners to 7 strikeouts. I will, woo. And this is where everything comes crashing down, right? Because we don't have any depth. But we are playing Oakland, so I forgot. We are going to win 3 games. Tyler Rogers picks up the win in his first inning or so. And we sweep Oakland to start the season. AAA team has too many players on their roster. Should I just let them auto do that? What do you think?
Well, let's double check to make sure we don't send someone down who's actually good. If you can just go to AAA and scroll to the lowest overall. Yeah, we can send down
Hunter Brown.
Bottom guy. Yeah, he should go to Class A, quite frankly. And then one of the closers. Yeah, that's fine. Either one can go to AA.
There we go.
Perfect.
We do need one more player on our Class A roster.
Backup catcher doesn't hurt.
Or I'm sorry, AA I meant. There we go. All right. So, looking good. A sweet 5-0 to start the season. We don't have any power, but Shohei. What did he pitch? Did he only pitch 2.1 in this one?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He went 2 1/3.
Yeah, he couldn't get out of that 3rd inning. By the time they pulled him, he'd probably given up 6 already. Yeah, taking a look at pitching. Yeah, 2 1/3. 4
we did put
earned.
up a fight in the 6th.
There we go. Yeah, we did try and come back. So that does fill me with a little bit of hope here as we got a 4-game series against Houston. We have Syndergaard, Sandoval, Lorenzen, and Canning pitching. And, that's not what you want to see. So after a hot start, we come crashing down, and we are now 1 game back of Seattle for the lead in the division. But we are going to win 3 out of 4 against Texas. Houston, who are slightly under 500. We are going to win that series as well. And like I always say, keep your mind focused on the series. You know, in a 4-game series, can you win 3? 2 is acceptable. 1 is bad. And then obviously in a 3-game series, you got to win 2. 2 out of 3.
One thing to note is, too, we are having, while we have kind of a middling offense, we are having slight offensive explosions on certain games. 2 of the games against Texas, putting up 17 combined runs. There's nothing to sneeze at all.
Agreed. Let's take a look here. Scouting. You know what? Let's take a look at our stats. Speaking of our stats, we are a good amount into the season, right? We are almost 20 games. We're 19 games. Let's get 20 games into the season. We are now 20 games into the season with another win. 3 games ahead of the Rangers. Wow, the rest of the division is laughable at this point. But can't rest on our laurels. Let's take a look at the team rankings. We are 5th in batting average. At bats, I'm not too worried about that. How many home runs? I'm assuming we're not a good home run team, or are we? We just bang on average? Yeah, we are. We're tied for 12th. Trout with 6, Ohtani with 5, Stassi with 4. Gee, who knew Stassi was going to be our 3rd leading guy in home runs? RBIs is 5th, makes sense. Stolen bases is tied for 5th. Stolen base percentage? Where are we there? Yeah, that's the one, 12th, right? So you can steal the 5th most bases, but if you're only 12th and stolen base, I hate it. I hate stolen bases. We walk a ton. We've successfully put together a team that likes to get on base via the walk. Moneyball, baby. Moneyball in Los Angeles. Who would have thought they'd see the day? Do we strike out a lot is the question. We strike out a decent amount, which is unfortunate. Slugging percentage, 6th, I'll take that. So the power doesn't seem to be the issue.
Yeah, there's the contact, quite frankly. We're 4th in on-base percentage.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're getting on. I don't think it's hitting. There's no way it's hitting. Is it fielding? Are we bad fielding? We're not great. Tied for 18th, but it happens.
But there's no errors though. At least I saw zeros across the boards.
Yeah, those players don't have any errors, so they sort from least to most. So the guys you see there will. Wow, we're 3rd in ERA.
Wow.
Griffin Canning, you madman.
That is spectacular.
Shohei Ohtani's 2.19 is insane. I mean, I know they've started like 6 games each, right? We're 20 games into the season. So, no, realistically, they've started 4 games each. So it might be a little early to talk about this. But right now, I got to say that Clase A with the saves, Crochet with the saves.
Already, holy cow.
Yep. So, like you said, we've been playing in some very tight games. We don't allow a lot of hits, earn runs, home runs allowed. Don't allow a lot of those. Walks allowed. Are we walking? You know what? If we're not allowing hits or, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Strikeouts, we're honestly, I don't think I want to change anything. I was like, where can we improve, right? We're only 6 games above 500, but 6 games above 500 in 20 games. It's a really solid start.
I think we can reevaluate after the draft. There are obviously lots of areas for us to improve as a franchise, but this has been a solid start.
Yes, it has. As we go on a 2-4-6 game winning streak, 18-8, and to end the month, we are 18-10. So 28 games here. We'll discount this one. We'll just count this one in April. We went 18-10 in April, and that is great. All right, so now May comes, and we've got a lot of games against teams not in our division. We don't face our own division here until the 13th when we face Oakland.
Some are also winning teams, and oh my goodness, maybe they're not. Holy cow.
Yeah, winning teams, my ass. Get over and get slapped, Boston, Chicago. You guys want to be winning teams? How about you be 500? Sit down. Holy smokes. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-1 in those 11 games.
We're witnessing an offensive explosion with absolutely spectacular pitching and defense, not allowing more than 3 runs aside from 1 game. My God.
3 games. 3 games here. We allowed 3 runs, but that's it. This one we allowed 4. Apologies. Yeah. So 3 or less in 10 of 11 is usually going to get you a win in baseball. And now we face the lowly Oakland Athletics, who are 13 games under 500. And we're going to lose the series. It's because I dunked. It's because I tried to dunk on them. That's why. Texas. Yeah, there we go. We beat Texas. I've never seen Texas become good in my saves. Sorry, Texas Rangers fans, but you're kind of stuck there. I don't care about those notifications. Matt Chapman is cold. Matt, heat up, baby. How is he cold with an OPS of 875?
Yeah, he's playing well.
Unless he was insane to start the season and now he's cold. Because there's no way in my book I'm calling 825. Anything above 800 in OPS, cold.
Yeah. So it should be noted, it looks like a couple of our stats here changed very briefly. Our power went down a little bit, but our pitching went up as well, which is nice. And we've gone
best
up 1
pitching.
rank.
Defense is okay. Contact is still solid. I think weren't we 9th to start the season?
Yes, we went up 1 rank, which is nice.
First base went up to 11th, I think. Second base is now 28th instead of 29th. Left field still is bad. Pitching is 5th, but we have the second best bullpen in the majors, so I will take that. View the trade block. John Bertie, the best guy that would fit a need. Tony Kemp, no.
Actually,
none of that.
If you don't mind going back to the trade block for a sec.
Yeah.
If Griffin Canning didn't have such an amazing start, Zach Eflin would have been a great number 5. But I don't think I want to change too much about the starting pitching right now, just because they're kind of on fire.
Yeah, right. Griffin Canning at 75 overall is just diamond. 9 games started, 5-2, ERA of 2.60, 1.16 WHIP, 6 quality starts in his 9 starts. So that's 2/3 quality start percentage, which is really
how he already has an 8th WAR. That's insane.
0.8 WAR, 0.8.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, that's pretty good. I wouldn't call it insane. But the fact he's already starting to look very, very good. His FIP is 396, so it's probably not as good. Although, like I keep saying every time, I wish this game had FIP minus so I can know how he's doing compared to the league average. But I digress. Oliver Perez is now down to a 75. Oh, he lost 5 overall points since we signed him at the start of the season.
That was fast.
That was a rapid decline. But hey, look at 9 strikeouts per 9 is still good. Now 4 walks per 9 is not great, but you know,
Yeah.
He's not holding us back.
No, and the thing is, right, again, like worst case, if we want to upgrade at the deadline, we can use him as a trading chip, and that's part of the value just right there. So
we are the second best team in the majors, by the way, record wise.
Holy cow. I think it helps that our division kind of sucks outside of the Astros, but
yeah, I mean the Astros kind of bounced back after a very slow April. These 3 weeks probably been good for the Astros.
Yeah, I think so.
And I was ready to say, and we sweep the Oakland Athletics, but Lou Trevino gets the win out of the pen. All right, Texas quick 2-game series, bang bang, splits it. Okay, and the Toronto Blue Jays at 24-25, another AL rival. We are going to win that series 3-1. Now we got the Yankees. This is a big one. The Yankees have 32 wins, which I believe is the second. Yeah, it is. It is actually the third most in the AL. Because the Houston Astros are 3.5 games back with 34 wins. Good enough for second most in the AL. Yankees at 32.
Their last 10 as well.
Yeah, but I mean, what? They picked up 1 game in that stretch because we're 7-3. I would 100% take that. Our slugging percentage as a team is .445. That is really good. I'm, just comparing us to the rest of the team or rest of the league. Our ERA is insane. That can't be sustainable with our pitching, right? 2.77. Nobody. Yeah, 2.73 for the Mets, but the Mets rotation is out of this world.
Absolutely.
Like 2.77 is ridiculous. Yeah, 2.73 for the Mets, and they're not even first. I mean, like, let's take a quick look at the Mets pitching rotation, compare it to ours. DeGrom, Scherzer, Bassett, Walker. I mean, like.
That's a great rotation.
Chris Bassett with a 1.64 ERA. I want to trade for him. I want him. I want it. Because I mean, he's only making 8.8. He's probably more attainable than the other guys. Who needs a lefty in the rotation? Screw it, says the Mets. David Peterson here. Actually, I didn't realize how good he grows, but he must grow pretty nicely. 78 overall, 26 beat potential. I have him in my starting rotation in my athletic series. Do we make a trade is the question. Francisco Mejia could be one for the future. Switch hitting catcher.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for now, there's never many good players on the trade block to start. Right? Like in the first season, there's almost never somebody on the trade block that you're like, I need to go after him because he is a stud. It only starts to develop that way. Bassett, whoa, that is a lot of value.
For a 33-year-old as well, I wouldn't be prepared to go after that. David Peterson's another matter, but.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking around because I want to steal their top ERA record. So trying to steal it. But we are very close to the draft here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's actually finish May because we were 18-10 after May. And we did even better. 20-7 in this month. Now, this month did not feel as good as the opening month, I have to say. But the fact that we were 20-7 in this month because we were 18-10 in the first month is bonkers. I can't believe it.
I concur. I didn't think this team was going to be anywhere near this level, so I'm very pleased.
I want to go look at the WAR. Who is carrying us is what I want to know. Statistics, player statistics, position player. Oh, you know what? Ohtani might have a ridiculous WAR. Mike Trout doing Mike Trout things. 4.6 in 2 months.
That's insane.
Mike Trout so far has 17 home runs in 2 months, He's only struck out 38 times, so that means for every 2 strikeouts, he's hitting 1 home run, basically, which is crazy. He's driven home 44 runs. He's batting .347, slugging percentage of .775, OPS of 1.231. Oh my God! Add with that a 75% stolen base percentage, because he's stolen 6 bases on his 8 tries. Absolutely flawless fielding, 96 putouts, 5 assists with no errors out in center field. Like, I'm acting. Holy shit!
His ISO is insane.
428 isolated. Are you kidding me? He's already created 60 runs as well in 2 months. Sorry, I'm freaking about how good Mike Trout is. Like, he is 99 overall. Those stats suggest he should be insane. I was just not expecting this insane in 2 months. Like 10 home runs or at bats per home run. What? Man, okay. And then Shohei Ohtani is right behind him. And I think they separate batting WAR here from pitching WAR. Oh, they don't, do they?
Can you hit toggle for statistics? That?
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
So he's got a 1.0 batting WAR and a 2.2 pitching WAR. So
I think if that's swapped.
Yeah, I think it's just showing it here like this. Yeah, 2.2 WAR.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's a pitcher, it's only going to show his pitching WAR in this position players. It just doesn't quite get the fact that he's a two-way player. Because he's got 11 starts, 7-3, 2.49 ERA, 106 WHIP, 9 quality starts in those in there. 2.2 WAR already. He's just FIP of 2.52. 2.52 FIP. So he's not getting lucky. He's not getting extra help or anything like that. Wow.
I guess that makes sense given our defense isn't spectacular. That it's up to our pitchers to get it done, and it looks like so far they are getting it done.
Well, more so Shohei's getting it done, right? Because his ERA could be 3.2, but his FIP could be 2.5, meaning he's just kind of getting unlucky from fielding and things like that. Wish they had BABIP so we could see the batting average on balls in play. There's just so many more stats that, like, baseball's the stats game, right? I want a few more stats in here, but I'm going to say that every video because I like to analyze them stats. 842 OPS with 12 home runs in 168 at-bats. He's stolen 81.8% of his bases and a 1.0 WAR. Runs created of 30, so that's pretty darn good. And Jared Walsh is the next guy here. Oh, wait, no, I'm just going to sort by WAR. Max Stassi. Like I said, I didn't expect Stassi to be our 3rd best batter.
No, and he's been really delivering on the power department.
God, look at the OPS of our team.
Yeah, 531 slugging. They're second only to, it looks like, Mike Trout.
Yeah, and his 775 slugging. Oh my God. On base percentage, yeah. Trout's on base almost 50% of the time. Guys, I'm sorry, I just can't get over it. Matt Chapman, who, if you remember in the last one, we did trade for, is doing very well. Is doing very, very well here with WAR. 1.6 already, and then Matt Duffy at 1.5. Jared Walsh, 0.9, right? These guys down here are okay. David Fletcher, apparently is not great. Is he starting? He's got 175 at bats. That feels like a starting number to me. Yeah, our backup shortstop, Tyler Wade, could be an area to be improved. Oh my, yeah, he's got no arm. Dude's got a noodle arm. Should be playing second. Conforto, my guy.
Not exactly rewarding us here.
No. With your 2-year, $6.0 million. Brandon Marsh, he's playing average. We're literally being carried by Ohtani and Trout. That is what's happening.
And Stassi. Let's not discount Stassi here. Stassi's playing quite well.
That's true. I'm just looking. Ohtani's got a 3.2 WAR because of his pitching. I mean, like, nobody else has above a 2.0. I know I'm cutting Stassi a little short, right? No 1.9, but still. Taking a look at our pitching. Ohtani, yep. Sandoval actually is doing well. Our starting pitching, I think, is punching above their weight. Like Sandoval and Canning are punching above their weight. Syndergaard's doing about what I expected him to as an 85 overall. You know, a hard sinker ball thrower. And then Lorenz in there. Like, our starting pitchers they're solid. Like, nobody in the starting pitching is really making me cringe, right? But it's almost time for the draft. We are almost there. We focused on international scouting just because I figured we should get some international players and see what we can do there. We got this 3-game series against the Yankees still going here. We are going to win. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was on June 5th. It's on the 2nd. Nope. All right. Well, we're not going to take a look at who's available. I think we might be able to. Yeah, no, we can't. David Valencia. Oh, look at that. We are picking 12th. Oh, that's dangerous. David Valencia here. 50 overall, 80 potential. Very well-rounded. It's not the guy I would have picked. Maybe Sean. Yeah, I probably would have picked Sean Hudson here. With his 60 overall, 55, even him, right? Josh Craig's better. I'm not picking a closer for right? There's just so many other players that I think are better. We can check this out afterwards too, but I just kind of like to see, yeah, oh my God, Pablo Robles. Ooh. 65 overall with 80 potential. That makes me believe that there might... Ooh, Chris Staub. Shortstop with amazing contact. Amazing contact. That's a solid pick there from the Rockies. And then Sam King. So Chris Staub and Sean Hudson, I think, were the guys I would have picked.
Staub even 18 as well.
Oh my God, he's 18. Oh, and he couldn't fall 2 more picks to me? All right. No. Sorting by accuracy, closing pitcher. 2 starting pitchers here. Warren Pollard, Elvis Moya. And we've got the perfect scouting accuracy on them. They're both 65 overalls, both internationals. Warren Pollard and Elvis Moya. Warren Pollard is from Canada, and Elvis Moya's from the Dominican Republic.
I think we know the correct answer here.
Abby, yeah, who do you want to take? In your totally unbiased, non-maple syrupy opinion, who should we take?
My non-maple syrupy opinion, I think we should take the player who's going to be ready sooner. So I'll go with Warren Pollard. I
agree. That's next season. Season. Our first-round draft pick is going to be available. Warren Pollard from Canada. Welcome to the Los Angeles Angels. Now, you're not exactly close to home, but we can see if we can find you a compatriot. Oh, we don't have a second-round pick, probably because we signed somebody. Well, that's great. That takes the fun of the draft out of me. Come on, man. All right, so in the green, do we trust...
Look at those potentials.
Do we trust that? I mean, it's barely different, right? It's barely different.
I also, looking at the potentials in the green, don't look good at all. I'd rather take the chance, honestly.
Yeah, he may not turn out to be great, but it's so close. This is why I say, I like to let the computer scout, because we have so much more. We're in the 3rd round, and if you were scouting yourself until somebody was done, first of all, it's going to take you hours longer, and you're not going to have this. I mean, you would know more about fewer players, but we're in the 3rd round. We wouldn't know this much to take Michael Wright out of Oklahoma. He's a first baseman that can play left or right, which is actually helpful for us because he's probably got a quicker path to the majors if he plays in the outfield for us. Don't you think?
I think so. And I also like that he seems to hit all over the field, which is nice as well. It says, I know his tendency is opposite, but every side is over 30%, which is good. So teams are less likely to shift against him, which is nice.
He has power for days. 4 days. His fielding's good. His arm's not great. He's got a terrible arm and accuracy. His reaction, his fielding is good. If you ask him to throw the ball, he can't do it, but he can catch the ball. So it kind of makes sense as a first baseman.
He's also 20 years old, so that's what training's for. If we put him on arm training for 2 years, I think he'll be okay.
That's true. Michael Wright, welcome to the Los Angeles Angels. Now, we won't have this situation again where we don't get any picks. Don't get a second-round pick, because the second round is usually where I nail that player that makes the draft an absolute dub. So I'm a little upset that I didn't get that. But we've got 2 players here, actually 3 players here, with 75 potential. Right field, Kurt Matthews could be good as well. Right fielder Kurt Matthews looks like the guy I would like to take because he's still got that above 50% accuracy as far as the scouting. Seems to be above average in just about everything. Jack of all trades, master of none, right? 5'8" outfielder. Wow. But he can play anywhere in the outfield. Born in Ohio. 80 potential, 55 overall. They say he's going to take a while to get here. I don't know how if I believe that, but baseball players sometimes do take forever. Looking at him here, he's rapid. He's absolutely just insanely fast. He's a blur. So he's going to probably be able to go ahead.
Sorry, Ryan. I was going to say this is also a position of need for us, and I know he's a little bit away, but Michael Conforto has shown he isn't exactly cutting it, so bolstering that position is a good idea.
Kurt Matthews, welcome to Los Angeles. Well, in a few years. I don't know where our affiliate is, but you're going to be there for a little while. Let's see.
Bottom of the barrel here.
Yes, we've got two options. We got the starting pitcher and the left fielder in Darren Warner. We got an opportunity to take them both.
I'd lean towards Warner. He's a lot younger.
Yeah. He's 18 years old. I mean, I know the scouting accuracy is not great, but he does have high injury risk, though.
The other thing I'll say is, right, with 18 years old, they tend to have a lot more value. So even if we don't end up using him, even if he's a D potential, he'll have more trade value than a C potential pitcher, for example.
I agree. Darren Warner, welcome to Los Angeles. Round 6 in the final pick, I believe. We still know some stuff. So John Jones says he's going to be ready next year. He is 21. Overall, 70, potential 65. So that's not really encouraging. But other than that, we're just throwing darts. So
I don't mind taking John Jones here just as see if he can be a AAA level pitcher or a mid-level.
He'll be, if this is right, he'll be like a 74 with 72 potential.
I see. That's not bad.
So if that's right, I think then we'll be good. But there we go. Our first draft as a duo is done. This is why I'm here. Abby's here for the rest. Abby's just going to carry me to the World Series. Hey, look at that. We went up another rank. We're now 7th. The contact, I think, went down. But that's overall, right. I think we're doing good. But now it's time to see. Mike Trout leads. Also, no, I'm kidding. We care about our draft picks as Warren Pollard is already a 70 overall with a potential.
Nice.
So that is our first overall pick with 98 potential.
Kurt Matthews. Look at that.
Kurt Matthews, the right fielder, has got a long way to go. I mean, the boy is rapid. Like, we nailed that, right? Like, he can fly on those base paths. But he can't get there. He can't get to the bases. So we'll work on it. But 49 overall is not great. Michael Wright at 58-84. I see him potentially coming in sooner rather than later. The lefty bat with good power against both righties and lefties. I'll take that. He's already got 60 against both, right? And then Darren Warner. Ooh, John Jones is a lot worse than we thought. But Darren Warner turns out to be another gem. So this is our first, third, fourth, fifth round picks, all with 84 plus potential.
That's spectacular, and this is why we have you here to draft for us, Mr. Brad.
I mean, Warren Pollard was kind of a slam dunk. Every Canadian I've seen that goes in the first round is amazing. Like, they're insane. Like, we're just that. Canada's just pumping out talent apparently. But these three guys right here, this is how you build your pipeline right here. The third, fourth, fifth round, second round too, right? But we didn't have one. But these three picks right here, like, yeah, sure. He's a blue chip prospect. I'm going to be able to hit on that one. But it's these three right here that you have to find if you are going to be successful at drafting and keeping your pipeline stocked with a potential talent. These guys will pop up in 2-3 years out of nowhere. You'll be like, oh shit, I forgot Kurt Matthews. Now he's a 78 and he can platoon for me, right? You forget about him. And then they're there when you need them and you're like, I don't have the money for players. Well, this is where you can find some good value. Build through the draft. One team I do want to go look at, though, is the Colorado Rockies with Chris Staub. Okay. Solid pick. Not great. Who had the first overall pick? Do you remember?
I do not know.
Wow, the Angels had a lot of picks. Didn't do great. David Valencia here looks good for the Orioles. Yankees, they'll just pay for players. It's okay. They don't need to draft well. So the Rays actually had a better second round pick than they did their first round pick. Straight up. Blue Jays got Tino Castro, back-to-back catcher picks. Okay. Wally Adams, no. Elvis Moya. It was Elvis Moya, right? Was the other guy we were looking at instead of the Canadian.
Yes, that's right. from Dominican Republic, I believe you said.
Yep. Here he is, 68 overall, 91 potential. So our 98 potential pitcher looks pretty good. Looks like a good pick. Sam King to the Tigers looks like another good pick, but I think we might have the highest potential so far with Warren Pollard. And I think that's right. We got the highest potential player. Sean Hudson is the guy I said I would have taken first. Bartolo Gomez. Wow, really good closing pitcher there, but he's a closing pitcher. Timothy Harnett. Wow, 96 with 54 and can fly, just can't hit. I hate the prospects that look like this, because these guys, like, they have that 96 potential. They've got all the upside, but it's going to take you so long for their hitting stats to actually get to a place where they can use that 76 and 79 speed and stealing respectively, you know?
Those types of players that are going to be stuck in single A for 3 to 4 years.
Right, and I'm very excited to have you along for the ride, Abby, because you do better than I do at developing players. So
it's very much the Mariners school of business, where they do it for money reasons, but I do it for development. You keep them down in the minors as long as possible, just so they can really season and they're ready when they come up, and they're not going to regress or they're not going to lose potential when they're playing. Man, I got to say, I love the look of Chris Staub, though. He's a guy that, like, I want to trade for. I mean, we're never going to be able to get him, but, like, got the contact, got the fielding. He's got the speed, 94 potential, right? Like, this is a shortstop that you can anchor your team around, your future around. He's also the perfect young guy, because with young guys, what you want is you want one thing lacking in particular. So it's always crappy when you have someone who has really good contact versus righties, but bad contact versus lefties, because then you're wasting one of the things you're training on. With Chris here, you have both styles of arms. So if you do one type of training, it covers both his weaknesses, which means he can be a real complete player for you after a couple of years of training. Yeah. And, you know, I personally would train the arm before I train the power, because I'd rather him be a good fielder, especially at shortstop, since he has 100%. No secondary position. So, I mean, the arm only has to get into the low 80s. That's what, a couple seasons. But I'm going to just say we're the best organization in baseball. We've got the best front office in baseball. So I'm going to just go out on a limb and say it. I'm curious to hear what you think. Yeah, no, I'm extremely happy with this draft. Again, I am far from a drafting master, and looking at where our team is right now, along with these reinforcements coming in, I'm really looking forward to see where we're going to go as a franchise. Tied for the best record in baseball with the crosstown rival Los Angeles Dodgers. Actually, tied for the second best record in baseball, the Phillies. The Phillies are insane. Bryce Harper. Is Bryce Harper going to rival? No, that's the NL, but you know what I mean. For the MVP, outright MVP. I'd be curious. Let's see. There they are. Oh, you know what? It might be Castellanos. Bohm and Castellanos. Like, I mean, look at Castellanos, though. Like, he just has to DH, and he's crazy. He's crazy. Bryce Harper is not doing nothing. It's Castellanos and Bohm. Bohm would actually be a great DH to go after. Like, not free agents, trades, make a trade. Let's just quickly, before we wrap up this episode, take a look at the Phillies and how much would it take to get Alec Bohm. He's on the IL, so I don't know how long he's out for. Torn finger ligament out 1 to 2 months. But what, Nick Castellanos? Good Lord. That's nothing. Leandro Esposito looks really good, though. Like, he could be something very, very good for us in the future. Look at that contact. Yeah, I'd rather not give him up if we don't have to. Yeah, this would be a very much a win now move. We can give up Joe Adell and Zach Veen. No, I'm kidding. Can't give up Zach Veen, but Joe Adell. They love Joe Adell. I'm not giving up Griffin Canning, but they want Pedro Caraballo. I think this is worth looking into. Probably not this episode. It's going to take some time to go through. But maybe it is a this episode thing. No, I'm going to leave this trade here. Castellanos' $20 million can definitely be squeezed in the budget. Absolutely. But 5 years,
but he's such an amazing hitter, right? The fielding is where he gets lets it down, right? But his OPS of over 1. Good God. That's almost as good as Trout's, right? Like isolated power of 376, 9 at-bats per home run, and already 46 runs created. This is the kind of player you could snatch for this package. I know Joe Adell's got a fake A potential, in my opinion. That's not real. And then Seth Smith and Pedro Caraballo. I mean, Seth Smith is a good player, but Castellanos helps right now at an 89 overall. We would vault ourselves to have one of the best outfields in baseball with Castellanos and Trout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are just my opinions. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comment section. And that's all the time Abby and I have today. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
This a free for all, but what we fall. This a free for all,